either a funnel or bend space and time that either connect our universe to another parallel universe, or bending space enough for allowing our dimension in our physical universe to connect with a nearby close dimension. And it seemed that, from what I found out, that these chambers, an ancient people, marked the locations of these portals, and today we're seeing UFOs in these areas. And to me, there's no coincidence that this is happening, that the Hudson Valley UFO, as well as a great deal of other paranormal phenomena in the Hudson Valley, is one area where these portals open up so that these dimensional phenomena and dimensional entities can enter our universe from theirs. And I believe that's what's happening.
So basically, in a lot of, from reading your books, a lot of your research, rather than the theory that perhaps if people see UFOs or have encounters, it's something that flew in from another universe, we're actually coexisting, but in different dimensions, and through either accident or deliberate setups, these beings or entities or objects are sometimes coming through and commingling with us. So really they're parallel with us at all times. We're just not able to see them.
Yes, that's true. And we have to differentiate between the idea of a parallel universe and the idea of another dimension in our physical universe. In order to travel from one parallel universe to another, a wormhole has to be created. And a wormhole would cause enough electromagnetic effects in the area to be noticed. However, if the UFO phenomena part of it, let's say, and other paranormal phenomena or strange creatures that are spotted in the area, across the world for that fact, are coming from another dimension in our physical universe. String theory is telling us now, the new theoretical physics, that there are 11 dimensions in our time and space right here. And that perhaps one of them is very close by. And then at times, that dimension, either by accident, as you said, or intention by an intelligence that lives in that dimension close to us, comes into our universe. And I believe that there is an intelligence there, and at times it does funnel into our universe, and it's responsible for a great deal of what we have labeled as paranormal phenomena. And I believe that this intelligence has interacted with the human race. This other dimensional intelligence has interacted with the human race at different intensities or rates throughout human history. And it seems, from what I'm finding out, is that it's starting to increase again. For some reason, whoever they are in this parallel dimension close to us, that they seem to be entering our universe and communicating with people in our world more and more as we approach the 21st century.
Now, are you saying that because you're hearing more reports?
Yes, more reports are coming my way indicating that that it's more dimensional than anything else. Rather than aliens from another star system, it's more dimensional. People are claiming contact with these beings. And it's not just because the subject is getting popular. You see, there are quite a few TV shows on the air right now involving the investigation of UFOs and paranormal phenomena. These shows were put there because there's so much happening to people. Usually, shows appear, TV shows appear, or movies appear, and people get interested, and it causes sightings to happen. People start reporting everything. But it happened in reverse this time. Because of the experiences that people are happening, the media picked up on it, and in response are having all of these shows because people are having experiences and they want to learn more about what's happening, and they're buying books and they're buying things on the subject right now, not because there's just a mild interest as there was 20, 25 years ago. It's because people are having experiences and they want to find some answers as to what's going on in our world.
Philip, you recount a very interesting story in Interdimensional Universe where Alan Hynek told you a very, very different version of what we know as the Philadelphia experiment, which would also give the impression of either some kind of portal where the actual vessel was taken in, and these people recount some of the survivors, I believe not many of them survived, but give a story of actually seeing different beings and being experimented on.
Yes, what was called the Philadelphia experiment is just it's just a name for a number of experiments that took place. And after I published that story, which was held in confidence until Dr. Hynek passed away, I got quite a few emails from irritated investigators who said, "Oh, you got the story all wrong. It happened this way. It happened over here." Why are these people? Their thinking is so one-dimensional. Don't they realize that there wasn't just one experiment? There were a number of experiments, and for some reason or another, people identify them all as the Philadelphia experiment. But there's a project called Project Invisibility, in which the United States government was trying to use electromagnetic fields to make ships invisible at sea, invisible on radar, aircraft invisible on radar. And when they activated this high-frequency coil, which projected an electromagnetic field, the ship disappeared. And the story goes is that, a minute later, it reappeared several hundred miles away. But according to the crew that they found, they had been gone for a much longer time, and they seemed to be in another dimension where there was a fog with light, and there were these strange creatures that looked like giant insects that would pluck them off the ship and did experiments with them, and that only half the crew was found, less than half the crew, and 25% of that half was found insane. Their brains were short-circuited, the synapses in their brains as if exposed to a great deal of electromagnetic radiation. Now, the story goes is that the government in this experiment opened up, Naval Intelligence was doing the experiment, by the way, and they opened up a portal or a window to this parallel universe or parallel dimension, and the door was never closed. And whoever they were on the other side, we alerted them to our presence here. And the United States government has been trying to close these portals that are now opening up all around the world because these entities, these beings, they were convinced that they're not very friendly. This was a story that was told to Dr. Hynek in Mexico by someone he met privately who used to be, as he claimed, a commander in Naval Intelligence that was part of the project, and he broke free from the project to try to alert people, and according to this person's story, he was being hunted down because they wanted to silence him. But he told Dr. Hynek the story. Dr. Hynek told me the story, and there was no reason to believe that it wasn't true. After that time, Dr. Hynek became more and more convinced that the UFO phenomena was something more exotic than somebody else's spaceships from another world. He became more and more convinced that a great deal of the phenomena is projected here, comes here from what he called a parallel reality. And this is the entire connection with that. And I believe that also. But I believe UFOs are very complex, and there's more than one explanation for what people report as UFOs.
So the area of the Bermuda Triangle, which oddly enough you never really hear much about anymore. I remember in the 70s we used to hear about it a lot. Would you say that was possibly a portal area?